Hello, this is Behind the Curtain, my YouTube channel dedicated to all things professional wrestling and the sports entertainment juggernaut that is WWE. Follow me on Twitter at JDScoop82, right there, or subscribe to the channel by clicking my stupid face. Just click there for all the latest updates on the videos being uploaded, which include backstage exclusives and interviews with literally the biggest names in WWE. Speaking of which, the audio of a very rare interview with all three members of The Shield is coming up. I sat down with Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and of course Roman Reigns backstage at a recent WWE event in Newcastle. And we had a very interesting chat, and I hope you appreciate how brave I was by questioning Dean and Seth about Roman being singled out as the next big thing. Mildly awkward, but well worth a watch. Before I roughly penetrate all three members of The Shield, though, with questions, obviously, I want your feedback. If you'd be interested in a weekly Behind the Curtain podcast with more WWE interviews that's available to download as a podcast with exclusive extras here on the YouTube channel, just let me know. I want to hear from you. So leave a comment on the discussion section of the page or simply subscribe, click my face, and a star-studded Behind the Curtain podcast could be coming your way if you want it. So effectively, just let me know. Anyway, let's white flash into the reason you clicked onto this video, a very rare interview with all three members of The Shield. Shield, thank you for joining us and taking the time to chat to us. Roman, if you wouldn't mind starting with your injury that happened last night, I believe. What went on there?
Pretty much what happened is you have a desperate Randy Orton who was lined up for a spear, and he did what no one's ever done before. He put himself in full danger, and he just threw his head at my head as I was a projected missile, which split me open, and that's the type of measures you have to take when you're fighting any member of the Shield.
So really don't try this at home, is the message.
Take a close look. You want your eye looking like that? Don't do my job.
Now, how are you enjoying your time in the UK?
Yeah, it's great over here, actually. This is our third time in the UK over the past 18 months, and every time we come here, it's awesome. Fans are great. Every show we do, the crowds are they're wild, man. The people, they don't get to see us that often, so it's a great experience. We dig it every single time.
Speaking of the UK fans, they're pretty vocal, aren't they? And I've heard some really interesting chants that they've been getting going in the crowd. What in your careers? What's been the best chance you've heard when you've been in there?
Yeah, they do this one. It's like, "You fell over, you fell over."
I knew you were gonna do it. It's the first night of every tour, man. It's always the first night of every tour.
Yeah, I feel like there's a good story behind that one. But every time we can get a "This is awesome" chant, that's probably the best one, just because. And that seems to be like a thing that's followed us around from town to town now. So I mean, that one's pretty personally gratifying.
And do you do other accents, by the way, or is it just Indian?
Indian.
Come on, it wasn't that bad. That's how it sounded. You had a bunch of little kids in Belfast chanting "You fell over." I don't know what you want from me.
No, it's pretty good. And just talking about the WWE live, what is it about WWE experiencing it live that's so special for the crowd?
You know, you can watch Monday Night Raw on television. You can watch the WWE Network. You can watch it on your phone, computer, on the WWE app. These days, there's a million different ways to watch the product, but nothing is like being there live and experiencing the energy and hearing the crowd and hearing the contact and the physicality in the ring and the music and the energy, and just being part of that audience live. It's something you can't replicate. Just watching it at home on television. It's great to watch it on television, but if you miss the show live when we're in your town, whether we're in Europe or United States or Australia or anywhere, you're really missing out, because there's nothing that replicates that energy. And non-televised events sometimes are more fun for us than televised events or even pay-per-views, because we're not out there doing anything for cameras or for there's less interviews and everything like that. So we're just out there for the people, and we're just working our tails off to give energy to them, for them to give us back, and it just goes back and forth, and it's a more intimate experience than television sometimes. Tonight we got a live event, and it's a UK crowd, and they're going to be nuts, and we're going to be working our tails off like we do every night in every town, and there's just going to be a lot of energy going back and forth, and it's pretty cool.
And favourite crowd ever? Where's your favourite place to perform? in the world? Because you've travelled everywhere, right?
That's a tough one. I don't think I could pick just one. I mean, I could give you like a top 5. I'd probably even have to think about that to narrow it down. But I mean, Chicago is always a great crowd. Brooklyn, New York City is always really good special town for us.
Insane last time.
Yeah, London's a real special town for us, and I think we had a confrontation with the Wyatts or something that was really off the hook in London last time. Japan, Japanese crowds are much different than European crowds or American crowds. It's like kind of like golf fans.
They're quite reserved and they kind of applaud.
But and they watch and they pay attention and they give you respect. They give you a level of respect that not that American fans or European fans don't respect what we're doing, but they give you like a more they show it differently.
Yeah.
They don't want to offend you by just yelling obscenities and sloshing their beer around and chanting everything every 2 seconds, which I love that too. We all love that. I think that's how it's going to be tonight. So,
awesome.
there's so many. So we've been to all around this freaking world. You know what I mean? Everywhere from Belfast to Budapest to Moline to Miami to LA to Seattle to Red Deer, Alberta to Alaska, you name it. And
I mean, that's pretty phenomenal in itself. You guys are relatively new to the kind of grand stage of WWE. Did you ever envisage that you would be traveling literally around the world?
I think at first, your first couple of tours, you're just going through, you're just being told where to go, and you go. You get an email and you kind of go. But like, what's really cool is when you've done multiple tours and you come back to, like, we've been in this building a couple times now, so it's always cool to come back, see different gyms that you've been to in the world, come back to these buildings, tear it up for the a crowd that only sees you 2 to 3 times a year, and then enjoy a nice bus ride around this place. That's what we love.
Yeah, hopefully you won't have to come back to this room again. It's not the nicest place.
We've done interviews in way worse.
Oh really?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that makes us feel better.
Used to a broom closet.
And you just had a phenomenal match of the night contest with Evolution at Extreme Rules. You're taking them on again at Payback. How on earth are you going to top that fight? Perhaps a higher balcony in Chicago? Is that the only way to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if there's any specific balconies there in Rosemont. But, I mean, we're just going to do what we do. The situation with Evolution, it seems like every week it's been raised to another level. So going into Payback in a few weeks, I think all of us are on the same page. We got to do what we got to do to get rid of Evolution as a whole. They're really a nuisance. They're kind of just been a thorn in our side for the past month or so, and it's just getting out of hand. So we're going to have to take it to another level, further than we took it at Extreme Rules, to get rid of them, because they're clearly sticking around and want to prove themselves up to our level. But we all know that's not the case, and we all know they can't do it.
And do you feel like you're learning from working with veterans like Triple H and Randy Orton and Batista, or are you teaching them a thing or two?
That's actually an excellent point. It might be going both ways, to be honest. You can never take for granted opportunities where you step in the ring. Not taking anything away from Evolution, of course. I talked a little bit of crap about them a second ago, but they are multiple-time world champions. They've main evented WrestleManias. These are things that we all aspire to do. So anytime you're in a ring with guys like that, if you don't take an opportunity to learn a thing or two, you're really missing out. But at the end of the day, we want to outperform them. We want to beat them. So I don't know if they're learning a little from us as well, but they're definitely realizing what we bring to the table is something that is a lot different than what they, found their success on. So I think that part of that, them wanting a second match with us might have something to do with that. You know what I mean? Them wanting to step back in the ring after we already beat them. I think there's a little bit of they want a little bit of the Shield. Everybody wants a little bit of the Shield, and why would it be any different? How many titles you won or how many WrestleManias you main evented.
And speaking of main eventing WrestleManias, that's something obviously you guys aspire to do. But what's been your career highlights so far?
I think the most, this is a cop-out answer, but I think...
I won't accept a cop-out answer.
the most thing I'm most proud of that we've done is, isn't specific moments in the ring. There's been a lot of them, and they've, really memorable stuff we've done. WrestleManias, pay-per-views. We've been in the ring with everybody from Undertaker to The Rock to Triple H to John Cena and Randy Orton, you name it. But I think just that our biggest accomplishment so far is kind of to Seth's point, is that on the one hand, we're sponges and we're in here and we're trying to learn and get better every single day and going 100 miles an hour, not taking any nights off. But I think that we've been able to raise the work ethic in the ring and had other people step their game up to match our intensity level, and I think that's happened across the board. And I think there's going to be when it's over, there's going to be a time before the Shield and a time after the Shield, and we've just been able to just literally outwork everybody every single night, and been so ambitious and over the top and willing to do everything a little bit extra to make every show that much extra special, and that everybody, maybe they were a little, because when you have those 10 world championships or whatever you have, you might get a little lazy, and then or a little bit protective of your spot and just kind of want to, but then they see the Shield and all the energy we're bringing, and then they kind of want to be a part of it, and just being able to make the stamp we've made on the product in the locker room, and bringing the energy level up, and what we're continuing to do, I think, is our biggest accomplishment, even though it's not necessarily something that's in the ring.
No, that's a very good answer. And if I were to push you, who is the leader of the Shield?
There's not a leader. That's so much responsibility. To hit the one leader of the baddest group of all time, that sounds ridiculous. It's three generals. There's no leader. I mean, it's three leaders. That's why we run together. That's why nobody can hang with us, because we were able to. Don't get me wrong, we got attitudes and we got egos, big ones, but we're willing to check them for each other, and that's what a brotherhood is all about.
And if you were to choose three other leaders, three other legends from the past to have a dream match with, who would those legends be?
What, you want one from each of us, or do you want three from each of us?
Yeah, three from each.
Three from each?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Shoot, that's tough.
We talked before, and Shawn Michaels was a...
Yeah, I mean, Shawn's one of my guys, dream opponent of mine, just someone that I've styled myself after. I don't mean, really, the other two are a toss-up, maybe a Cactus Jack, and Mick Foley. If you throw him in there, would be a lot of fun. And maybe Randy Savage. I don't know. Those are three guys who are pretty awesome to me. So I mean, but there's so many. If you go through history, there's two. I'm telling you, you're gonna get
about singles competition, or did you just build a
I might have just. I don't know. I felt like I was building this.
building like a three-man team.
You've just booked an incredible main event.
I mean, I don't know if the three of them could ever team together, but I mean, in my brain, those are just three guys that are awesome. You know what I mean? Are you looking at like a three-man team from the past?
Well, whatever you think. I mean, for example, we got a tweet, and they said Demolition would be an awesome six-man against you guys.
Okay, so there's a three-man team. There's a three-man team. So if we're going there, I mean, you got the Freebirds. Demolition would be a pretty good one. I mean, how many three-man teams in history?
Simone SWAT team.
The Simone SWAT team. I mean, the Von Erichs kind of had a thing going on there. Yeah, any number of the Hearts would be all right, too.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
You know, if you had like Brett Owen and Davey, maybe it would be pretty sweet. Or throw Anvil in there and slide on in. But yeah, I mean, there's who else? Any other good three-man teams?
You can basically get a good match out of anyone. I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been tasked with that a few times over the past 18 months, and I think we've passed that test.
Absolutely. And just talking about your life outside the ring, who is the party animal? Who is the most demanding? And who gets the most attention from the girls?
I'll take the one as the most demanding. You guys can fight over the other two.
Most attention from the girls.
He's always got time for the ladies. That's his thing. We may just take both of them.
There are, different demographics. This is why a three-man team is so, it's so good having, your partners and stuff, because, we can't fill every demographic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
but
course.
we can cover all the bases, with, three different guys, so basically we got all the ladies covered.
And if one night you're having a good night, these two are your wingmen, making you look good. I think it's a good setup. Yeah? No.
We don't wing, man.
No.
Three generals here, man.
Nah,
Three
bro.
generals.
Throw lions in the jungle.
Bro, we sit in chairs like this and women come to us.
Nice. And I'm going to address an elephant in the room, if you don't mind, and don't hate me for it. But there are rumours are rife that perhaps Roman is considered the next big thing. Does that affect things in the group? Mildly awkward on the bus, or does that kind of drive you all to push yourself harder? And
You think I'd be in a group and have a guy watching my back, or have two guys watch my back that weren't going to get that kind of attention? And do you think any kind of serious, successful group in wrestling or in music or anything like that isn't going to constantly have rumors of crap going on in between all of them, and all that? That's all just comes with the territory, and we're all super competitive with ourselves and each other, and that's kind of the glue that keeps us together, is because we all gotta check each other. There's no dead weight. Everybody's all the time got to be. We all bring completely different games to the table, but we all need each other to do each other's jobs and to play each other's roles. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So, that's just par for the course. So that just means we're doing something right.
absolutely. Anything to add to that?
That's pretty much right on. But so say I'm the next big thing. Anybody can say anything they want. Who do I roll with? If I'm that dude, I'm supposed to be that guy. Who do I have with me? Who am I? Who would I put all that on the line for? These two. That's just how it is. That's how I operate. I don't look into, who's the next big thing. I'm just trying to do my job better than I should. And you can hear that. You can go on any social media, and everybody's got an opinion now. And they all think they know what we do, but they don't, because they're not on the bus with us. They're not in the locker room with us. They're not putting on the Shield boots. Only we really know what's going on here. And I think we're all the next big thing.
And just talking about social media, do you think it's obviously changed? Obviously so many businesses, but it's really changed the industry, hasn't it? Do you think it's been a positive thing, or does it get annoying sometimes?
Well, it's definitely changed the fan base and the industry and all that. And you can't say whether it's positive or negative, because there's really no going back. It's just the evolution of what we do, you know what I mean? It's just how it is. The world's just moving in that direction. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's a journalist. Everybody's got a blog. They got their Twitter and this and that, and they're little keyboard warriors, and they like to run their mouths. And you really just got to shut that off, as far as trying to, we don't let that stuff really get to us or bother us or anything like that. It's fun for a laugh every once in a while. I think the biggest thing that the internet and the information age really has done to our business is smartened up the live audiences. It used to be, 10 years ago where, guys in our position, they were just laughing at the internet and saying, oh, it's such a small percentage of the audience, it's these internet message boards and blah, blah, blah. But nowadays, if you want to find information on somebody, you can do it in a blink. And I think that's made our crowds a little bit smarter. And it's not just a small portion of the fan base anymore. It's a large portion of the fan base. And you can see it every time we go into these larger markets. And sometimes these crowds, if they're not having a good time and they're not entertained, they just go off on their own. They just do their own thing, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's made our job a little bit more difficult, but you know, the guys who are going to succeed are going to succeed, and we step up to the plate, and we don't have problems with unruly crowds. I
was going to say, it never happens in your matches.
It doesn't happen in our matches,
man.
right. Yeah, we're having a great time, and they're with us the whole ride. So it's cool, you know. It's just, like I said, it's just the way the business is now.
Yeah. And so finally, what is next for the greatest threesome in WWE right now? I'm not talking about 3MB. I'm talking about you guys.
I was going to say, you better ask Heath Slater and Hornswoggle. Yeah, they're not even a threesome anymore. They got 4. They're a full, they're a full 4-piece band now. I don't know, man. You know, we don't even know what's next, and I think that's the fun part. You know, we just kind of fly by night, just living day to day, just doing it. We're on tour, boys. You know what I mean? Like, we're just out having a good time, seeing the world, enjoying every beautiful city and all the beautiful people that we get to meet. And I think, you know, we get back to the States, it's more of the same, just town after town, night after night, and we're just going to keep doing what we do. Just as we've reiterated this entire time, we're just going to keep being the best. We're just going to keep going out every single night, wherever we're at, putting in the best performance, giving it 130%, and just making everybody, you know, nip at our heels. And that's how we evolve the business, and that's how we do what we do.